many of you know, Patrick Leahy has been my colleague in Washington for many years, 16 years when I was in the House, and the last 4 years in the Senate. Patrick Leahy was born in the state of Vermont, he knows the state of Vermont, and he loves the state of Vermont. Many years. He has done an extraordinary job in representing the interests of the state of Vermont in terms of job creation, in education, in the environment, in civil liberties, and in so many areas. I think it is very fair to say that there are very few Vermonters who have not benefited from Senator Leahy's efforts.
I was telling myself this morning how fortunate I am to serve in the United States Senate with Bernie Sanders and to serve in the Congress with Peter Welch. It's one heck of a delegation. I think how fortunate we are here in Vermont. The Vice President Biden.
Best congressional delegation in America. And I cannot tell you what an honor it is to have the President of the United States bless Vermont with his presence today. Thank you, Vice President Biden. We're extraordinarily grateful for your joining the time learning how to read. This is how we did it in Vermont in the 60s. In second grade, I got taken in to the principal's office with my parents. To have my parents be told what I knew, but I hoped that they would never find out. That for all the good efforts of my teachers, they couldn't teach me how to read. I had a single teacher. Her name was Claire Oglesby. She became the teacher of the year years later on. She'd be standing next to me today were it not for the fact that she died of cancer last year. She took me, this is not a story, to her log cabin on Windmill Hill Road in Westminster West. And in the warm weather, we sat on her lawn, and in the cold weather, we sat by her wood stove, and she taught me how to read. That is what has formed my view about education. That is what has formed me. That's why I fight for those who are discriminated against, who aren't born on a level playing field, who are left behind, who can't feed their families, who want to be able to send their kids to college. That's what makes me a fighter. But more importantly, it what makes me understand that early childhood education is critical so that every Vermonter can have a bright future. country I give you Joe Biden.
I like this guy. Hey folks, you know, it says Vermonters love Joe. You should know one thing you probably don't know. How much I love Vermont. I gotta tell you a little, I wasn't gonna mention this, but as they say, used to say in the Senate, a point of personal privilege. I got elected as a 29-year-old kid in 1972. I literally was not old enough to be sworn in on the day I was elected. I had to wait 17 days to be The tiny time of my election and getting sworn in, my wife was Christmas shopping with my 3 children and was in an accident, and my wife and my daughter died, and my 2 sons were very badly injured. And I had no intention of going to the Senate at that time. I don't even remember saying, but I said the state can get another senator, but my kids can't get another dad. And a group of senators who I'm forever indebted to, starting with a fellow named Mike Mansfield and Ted Kennedy and Hubert Humphrey and a guy named Tom Eagleton and a few others, Fritz Hollins. They came to me and said, look, just come for 6 months. Just come for 6 months. They knew me better than I knew. They knew if they got me engaged, it would be the best thing for me. And I said, okay, 6 months. But I got in the car with my brother Jim, and please don't be offended, Burlington, but I drove to Rutland. And I made an offer on a house in Rutland because I wanted to move to Vermont. I wanted to leave Delaware and put everything behind me. And my dad, who didn't spend a lot of time giving advice, he gave me one very good piece of advice. He said, look, Joe, you want to do that, that's good. But he said, when you're in the middle of a crisis like this, the best thing to do is not make a decision. If you still feel that way at the end of the summer, he said, I'll get in the car and go with you. And I think you should go. Well, it turned out my whole life changed around. But I just always tell that story to Pat Leahy because I might have been running against Pat Leahy. And he would have beaten me like a drum. First time, I got a call end of my second year in the Senate, Bernie, from a guy named Leahy. Would I come to Burlington, Vermont and campaign for him? He was running for the Senate. Democrats weren't used to winning in the Senate in this state. And so I came up. Pat was ahead by 20 points before I got there, and he ended up barely winning, but he won. Pat, my old friend Marcel, have been my closest friends. It's so good to see you guys. And Bernie, I tell you what, Bernie is the conscience of the United States Senate.